Hello and welcome back to the Football Chat. The producer loved that intro. We're here for episode 20 of the podcast. 20 episodes deep already. I know. It's like a little milestone, 20 episodes. Because 10, it's like, alright, you know, they've started. They're doing well off the start. 20, though, that means they're serious. We're going to be like on par with Happy Hour within a month.
Definitely.
Episode 24, balling. But yeah, today we're here to discuss, is the Premier League title race over? We're currently recording on Sunday the 16th of Jan, so we haven't seen the Liverpool-Brentford game yet, but we have seen the Man City-Chelsea game, and it was hard to watch as a Chelsea fan. Man City will look much the better side. Obviously, Chelsea missing some key players and having a few players come back from COVID, but like we're clearly missing wing backs. Lukaku doesn't look interested. Ziyech was shite. Pulisic, I didn't even know he was on the pitch until he got subbed off.
That front three was
They're just completely still. Alonso's a training cone. He might as well not be there. He gives away more fouls than he makes tackles. It's just...
I think Sterling got past him at least 10 times
He got absolutely torn a new one. But yeah, he just really struggled to get anything. But yeah, we really struggled to keep possession, play well against them. Man City's press was really high. Lukaku barely pressed. I mean, if you can call that pressing. He jogged in the general direction of the ball.
Ball triple pass.
I mean, I've seen clips of the warm-up. Even in that, he doesn't look interested. And the thing is, yes, it's okay. You can go and have this. You can say those things like you want to go to Inter and that, but then you have to bounce back. It's not just about performing well, scoring goals and stuff. It's about attitude and it's about effort. Like if he isn't scoring, but you know he's sprinting after every ball, he's desperate to get a goal, then you know it's admirable. But he just doesn't give a shit, and it's like, well, why do we keep trying with him? Just sell him off. Yes, we'll make a loss.
Even if you don't sell him, you've still got Havertz and Werner on the bench.
Yeah, just force him out of the club.
I'd start there.
But yeah, sell him off. Use that money to go and get Haaland. I can't state this enough on this podcast. Chelsea must sign Erling Haaland. If not, Man City will dominate the next 10, 20 years of football. Like they have the last decade.
I don't know why Mason Mount didn't start. I get fresh legs from midweek, but surely then at that point you'd look ahead and you'd start Ziyech against Tottenham and then play Mount against City.
Yeah, but in theory, the formation would work. Pulisic is in great form, and he's on there to get the ball to feet and dribble past people, but he barely got on the ball. And then Ziyech and Lukaku, in theory, work really well together. You know, you've got a big target man and a player who's very capable of finding him with a cross.
Some of his passes,
but both of them in practice, it was shit. I mean, that through ball from Ziyech.
Oh my god!
I mean, it was more baffles me how poor it was.
More of a pass to Edison. But yeah, Lukaku is not going to get anywhere.
I mean, he's afraid to shoot. He doesn't run. He doesn't care. There's no effort.
He turns like a bus. He is shocking. Took him 10 seconds to turn around with the ball. They just losing it.
Yeah. I mean, he is good at when he gets the ball just driving forward with it. But he did that once in the whole 90 minutes.
Tired and he loses the ball.
And rather than shooting, he tried to play it to Ziyech, who, I don't know why, was 40 million years offside.
I mean, it should have gone to Alonso anyway.
It was even past the goalkeeper, I'm fairly sure. Like, even Edison was off his line and Ziyech was past him. But, yeah, just baffling. I mean, I do think Mason Mount would have had a better game than Ziyech did. But, in theory, you'd think Ziyech and Lukaku would work. And it's something Man City wouldn't have expected and wouldn't have prepared to play against. And to be fair, it did catch them out the few times that they did anything good, but then they immediately blew a very easy opportunity to score. I mean, on that Lukaku-Ziyech one, Alonso was steaming in on that left-hand side. It will be on his left foot, and we know Alonso's an accomplished finisher. Especially that kind of range.
It's
you can
50-50 though, because if they played to it, they'd either nestled in the top corner like an absolute beauty, or it ends up out in the stadium.
Or killed someone in the crowd. But it's just like the decision making for Chelsea's attackers is so confusing. That's like simple stuff. Alonso's stinging on that left-hand side. We know he can score goals. He's proven it before. Yes, he could miss, but so could anyone. I don't know why Lukaku tried to force the ball through to Ziyech when he was offside. It's just...
I mean, why is Ziyech was offside? How are you offside?
Every run that man makes is offside. If he runs, to be fair.
I think, on topic of Alonso, I think Chelsea... This title race is over if Chelsea don't buy wing-backs. And
oh, yeah, 100%.
I don't know...
Because Aspi, I like him, but he just got caught out way too many times down that left-hand side. On Man City, quickly, they played... really well, to be fair.
Yeah.
They look calm under pressure.
Sterling.
Foden's direct running with the ball past players was fantastic. His dribbling. He created chances for his team, which no Chelsea player was even trying. I mean, that should be Pulisic taking that ball, running through the team and making an opportunity out of it. Instead, Pulisic spent most of the game just stood over on the left-hand side, not looking interested in the game.
And it was a great finish from De Bruyne.
Take nothing away from De Bruyne. That's a fucking fantastic finish. I mean, Chelsea should have closed it down, but he still put it top corner.
I feel the one thing that meant is I think Kepa had a very good game.
Yeah, there was a few little mishaps, but he did make some really good saves. He looked much more confident than the Kepa we saw under Lampard about a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I do think his kicking and calmness under pressure when he's getting pressed by
ran out and
players.
Smashed the ball into it came on.
There's a few his decision making needs a little bit of work, but overall I think he had a really good game. He played really well against Tottenham, and it's positive to see that he looks a much improved, a much more confident player than he did under Ramsey.
Say the same for Malang Sarr. I mean,
Sarr's come on so much.
Apart from a couple of errors, he did really well. And when you're defending with Alonso, you're always going to...
He had too many every time. But at the start of the season, there was a lot of question marks over Malang Sarr's ability. Rightly so, I believe, because he just did not look good in the few games Chelsea had played him. But recently, he's come on so much. He looks much more accomplished defender. If we were to lose Christensen or Rudiger... I think if it's Rudiger, we do need to buy someone. But if it's Christensen, I do think Sarr, Chalobah, Thiago Silva, Rudiger, Colwill coming back on loan is all right. So I don't think losing Christensen's too bad now for Chelsea. I think it is very different losing Rudiger, though. He is key to Chelsea's team.
If that man goes
not only his defensive ability, but also his leadership.
His runs forward, he just gets it all, just goes.
He's passionate. He cares, and for me, that matters more than any technical ability.
Yeah.
Like if you could have the abilities of Messi, but if you just don't give a shit, then what's the point? It's like Hatem Ben Arfa, players like that whose mentality just hasn't been there, and that's the difference. Yeah. Like he was very talented, Ben Arfa. But yeah, that's besides the point. We're discussing Man City, Chelsea today.
On the point of the obviously Liverpool. So it's only Liverpool and Chelsea realistically out of anyone are the only teams that will catch City, and if they do that, that'll be an absolute miracle. I mean, I think if with Chelsea without buying any wing backs won't win it, and I mean Liverpool, depending on how well they do today without Mad, but we saw midweek against Arsenal against a 10-man Arsenal.
Yeah.
At Anfield.
I mean, to be fair, Minamino missed an absolute sitter.
Yeah, that was terrible. Yeah. Again, I've talked to a few people about it. If that is Salah or Mane, that's a goal.
Well, maybe not Mane. No.
It'd have been a different.
He's been really good this season.
It'd have been a completely different game. It'd have been 3-4-0 with Salah and Mane.
100%. With Liverpool and Chelsea, though, are they nailed on second and third, or could we see West Ham maybe push for that second or third? Because they've looked impressive this season. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how they do against Leeds today.
I don't know. I think they are. I think it will be City, Chelsea, Liverpool top three. I think there'll be a lot of competition.
I agree. I think it'll be that order as well. But I think West Ham will get Champions League football.
I think so. You've got West Ham.
Arsenal played really well recently, but then they're so up and down with form.
I mean, by the way, it's not actually on this. It's not actually on our list. But one thing I do is the fact that the game was called off today is an absolute joke.
Yeah. Just quickly, obviously, we were going to cover the North London derby on Sunday, but yeah, it's called off. We then swapped and we're going to do the West Ham Leeds game, but circumstances came up. We couldn't do it. No stream, sorry. But we should be back with Chelsea Tottenham. I know I said this last week, we should be back with Arsenal Tottenham, but we should be back with Chelsea Tottenham. I'll make sure to get guests.
We will watch Tottenham.
We will watch a Tottenham game at some point this year. Yeah.
But the fact that, I think they've got four injuries, but Tottenham have got 3 as well. But doesn't matter how many injuries they've got or how many, they've got enough players, and the call off is for COVID.
Well, the reason is that they only have 12 first team players left.
So what?
And they need 13 plus 1 goalkeeper to be able to. That's what the Premier League have said, is they need 13 plus a goalkeeper, which is 14.
There's something called youth. The call offs are for COVID.
Exactly.
They have one case, I believe, maybe 2 or 3, but I believe it's only
It's
one.
like Liverpool had to play 2 games on the same day this time last year, and they got on with it. I mean, obviously Klopp moaned about it in the press, rightly so, but they got on with it. They played the youth.
Yeah.
Yes, they lost, but that's just football sometimes.
Villa also did it against Liverpool, where Louis Barry scored. That was, what a day. Absolutely incredible. Now he's on loan at Ipswich. What a joke. Anyway.
It's just like, well...
And obviously Chelsea...
It's their own fault as well. They loaned out players like Ainsley Maitland-Niles. They didn't.
Why?
They haven't bought players in to replace them. They knew they had some of their stars going out to AFCON. They knew that COVID was a problem at the moment. They could have some players. They've got people like Aubameyang fucking up at the moment. And then they've got a few injuries. And then Xhaka goes and gets himself sent off.
What?
And Gabriel as well. Both of them have been
Granit
spreads in the last
Xhaka
few weeks.
The worst centre midfield in the Premier League.
It's like they're the masters of their own downfall. And I don't know how they can get special
Chelsea
thing
went
to get their game
Wolves
called
in
off.
the Premier League with a depleted side.
Yeah, they had literally 15
Brentford
plus
in the Carroll Cup
few
had
youth
like
guys.
Sunset Bell and
Bale, Harvey Vale,
Exactly.
Xavier Simons all made their debuts. Lewis Hall obviously played in the FA Cup recently. And I know that's what cup competitions are for, but...
class. But
yeah.
I do think if I was Arsenal, if this was a game against Watford, I think they would have stuck with it and played the youth.
Yeah,
because
it's the North London derby.
They're not going to play... I would say Balogun, but they loaned him out as well. Yeah, they're not...
It's like it's the 16th of Jan. It's not like we're not in a transfer window, which is what really confuses me. They had chance to get players in, which they need to do anyway, because they've let people like Ainsley Maitland-Niles go out on loan and stuff. I mean, they're now a depleted squad. But they just haven't done anything. And then they didn't even bother trying to request an emergency loan or something like that. They just went, oh, well, that's that then. Because they quite easily could have.
Yeah, emergency loan.
Could have got an emergency loan, but no. They just... postpone the game. But yeah, so that's annoying. We couldn't stream, but we will be back next Sunday. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I'll see what guests we can get, if we can get enough numbers. Yes. We'll find as many.
Yeah.
I'll just overbook massively.
Yeah.
Just like 7 people, so that when they all call off, it's definitely not my fault. Yeah, in terms of transfers to Liverpool, Chelsea obviously need wing backs, possibly a striker eventually, maybe a centre back if players are going to go. For Liverpool, I think another midfielder is a good idea.
Today,
Milner and Hendo start as their
well, we don't know yet.
two.
But that's
Well,
probably
that's
what will happen.
what it will be.
I think they need backup for Salah and Mane.
100%, yeah.
I don't think...
their situation's not helped at the moment by the fact Firmino's not there. So they've only got Jota and Minamino. Firmino's injured.
Oh.
So they've only got Jota and Minamino, who are their only attackers. Because Harvey Elliott's out as well.
Harvey Elliott's injured.
So you'd imagine Liverpool would actually look at wingers, but...
Thing is,
I mean, they were linked with Luis Diaz earlier in the month, but nothing's happened
thing to do, to not go buy anyone, but then moan that they have to play and they haven't got enough players.
I don't think it's Klopp's fault they're not buying anyone.
No,
So it's clearly FSG just not investing at all. They won their Premier League. If they wanted to go on and have a dominant period, then they have to invest, and they didn't. They were happy to have that Premier League win that they hadn't had for years, and not done anything since then. And for Liverpool fans, that must be frustrating because they've got the squad that's good enough to win stuff. They just need depth because you can't have your 2 strongest players going away for a month every January.
Yeah.
And not having anyone to back him up with.
No.
Other than Minamino, whose shooting ability is disastrous, as demonstrated the other evening. And Jota, who's had a really good season, but can't do it all alone. And Firmino, it doesn't help Firmino's injured, I get that, but still, they should have better cover for Mane and Salah. Which is Luis Diaz, but then they haven't done anything since been linked with him at the start of the month.
Just anyone, really.
For me, though, obviously it's not over till it's over, but I do think Man City have won the league.
I think Man City have won the league.
They're so much stronger than anyone else.
So, Liverpool got 2 games in hand on Chelsea, I believe, and 1 on City. Or was it 2 on City as well?
Have they got 2 games in hand, have they?
Well, no, because they're playing today, so they've got 1. So by the time it's gone out, they've got 1.
I didn't think they had a game in. Oh, they did have a game called off, didn't they? Hang on, I'll check it. They've got 2 games in hand on both of the top sides.
So after today, they'll have what? So when this podcast goes out, they'll have 1 game.
So they could close the gap to City to 8 points, but I still don't think that's catchable.
And then if say they beat City, that's 5 points. That's still.
I think they'll lose to Brentford today, and then that'll pretty much.
So if they win their 2 games in hand, so they beat Brentford today and win the other game in hand, they beat City, they're 5 points off. That means City have to go and lose to 2 other teams that aren't Chelsea or Liverpool.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening. You know, Chris Wood's not going to turn up in a Newcastle shirt and slam a hat-trick home.
Newcastle are Man City's bogey side. They were... Yeah. Didn't they draw? Or did they lose 2-1 in the end?
I think they might have lost 2-1.
Jonjo Shelvey, was at Liverpool? I can't remember.
No, Shelby scored for Liverpool against Liverpool and they lost 3-1 that game.
Oh,
has City got to play United again? Because that Scott McTominay...
Yeah, United just need to turn up for City games.
Yeah.
I think Leicester, they don't have to play them again, but they caused some problems, so it shows that other clubs could. I think Villa could cause them some
they
issues.
Got so lucky against Arsenal as well. That was a joke.
And they're the kind of things that you need to go your way to win the league.
Yeah. But yeah, I round it up. I
think Man City won the league. And I think that's just because they haven't had any COVID cases.
And if they have, they've got so much depth.
Yeah.
So many options.
The only time they've had any COVID cases was over the last 2 weeks when they had 1 FA Cup fixture to play, which I think is just so lucky from Man City.
Yeah.
So
well, the thing is, if you look at it, so Salah's not here. Liverpool's cover is Minamino. Chelsea don't play Mount. His cover's Ziyech. Man City, they don't play Sterling. They could play Bernardo, Grealish, Foden, he's
when he's back from AFCON.
Yeah, they've got so many options.
Even Cole fucking Palmer's a fantastic little player.
Defensive. City won that game. Ruben Diaz is just sitting on the bench.
And it's Chelsea's loan army which baffles me the most because we have fantastic players.
I've recalled Kennedy.
But they're all playing for... Like, our best striker at the moment is at Southampton.
Yeah, Gallagher.
Breuer's on the same amount of goals as Lukaku this season.
Yeah, Gallagher's at Palace.
And then,
Gilmore's at Norwich.
Which just would give us some depth for other games. But I get they obviously want to develop with lots of Prem minutes, which is probably better than just sitting on Chelsea's bench. I mean...
Next season, though. But Marcus Alonso cannot be Chelsea's second choice left back next season.
I did see, though, that Southampton's top scorer is Breuer, Crystal Palace's is Gallagher, and Chelsea's is Mount. So Cobham out here producing 3 top scorers at Premier League clubs.
Go back to Inter.
Yeah.
You like the winter transfer window?
I do like those jokes about Inter. Yeah.
Should we get on to the top? I don't think it was the top 4 battle. Or a team that are involved
Aston Villa versus Manchester United at the top of the battle. Obviously, it's the Saturday evening game, the late kick-off on the Saturday. Aston Villa 2, Manchester United 2. It's a very interesting one because
Jack Grealish washed up.
God, this is going to be a difficult segment to get through. But yeah, Manchester United looked much the better side in the first half.
Second half,
no, I'm joking. I think Villa played better than United across the whole game.
The first goal
was just very unlucky for Emi. I mean, he made a huge mistake and it cost Villa dearly. But To be fair, the shot had a lot of power on it. I don't know how he managed to let it in, but he did. But
Bruno
he came back from it and played really well for the rest of the game. So
De Gea made some huge saves in the first half.
He could have sent him off into a spiral, and then
both keepers did really well. I think Bruno's second goal was very good. I thought 2-0 was no way. On comes Phil bloody Coutinho.
And then wake me up before you go, and he's Grealish when you got Coutinho. On he came.
Comes on, does a little 1-2 with Digne, lays it to Jacob Ramsey. What a finish, by the way.
I just want to say, on our Phil Coutinho pod, I think I said something along the lines of, he'll do really well this season. I can't remember my exact quote, but I'm fairly sure I mentioned something about him playing well.
I said something.
You said a goal and assists prediction. I'm fairly sure. Now. And if you didn't, then do it now.
I want to say I think I said 8 goals and 6 assists. No, I said 8 assists and 6 goals.
I think you went 8 goals, 6 assists.
Might have been
that
higher.
rings a bell.
Okay. Well, I'll have a look. But yeah, I mean, he's already got 1 and 1. He's got 1 each already. So
I don't think that went down as his assist. It came off Fred.
Oh,
Coutinho had the ball. He was trying to play it across to Ramsey, and Fred just kicked it for him.
Laid it across. What a finish, by the way, from Ramsey.
What an assist by Fred. Let me just see whether
that was
Coutinho
such a good finish. I mean,
no, he wasn't credited with the assist.
Oh, a joke. But that was a very good finish from Ramsey.
We can talk about Jacob Ramsey as well as Coutinho. Jacob Ramsey was sensational in this game, and he has had a really good season, to be fair. That's his 3rd goal of the campaign. He got a goal and an assist against Manchester United.
No one else does that. You don't see Cole Palmer and Phil Foden doing that, do you?
Do not compare Jacob Ramsey.
He's better than Cole Palmer.
Sure, right now, yes. Cole Palmer will outgrown though. You cannot compare Jacob Ramsey and Phil Foden though. That is mental.
He was very good though. He was very, very good.
Yeah, and I think he is one of the most underrated young talents in the Premier League.
You didn't even put him on the bloody tier list for the Christmas pod.
Yeah, we did forget him in the Friend Youngsters tiers.
Which,
if you hadn't checked out already, might be in the top right. It's probably not, but it might be if you're watching on YouTube.
If not, you can go find it, or you can find it as a separate video as well if you don't want to watch the whole podcast.
I know why I'd link the separate video.
Oh, okay.
But it's probably not there. I've probably forgotten. I've definitely forgotten.
Yeah, that Ramsey Coutinho link up.
Yeah, it looked really strong. I mean, Ramsey's having a really good season, and it was a really good ball across to Coutinho, who scored in his debut to give Villa.
Difference is, if he missed that, everyone will be saying,
Coutinho
go back to Spain, he's rubbish.
I've seen people that were saying before that it wasn't a good deal. Coutinho would struggle. He hasn't played proper football in ages. Consistent games.
But I think it's really hard to decide who to play though. I think out of everyone, maybe you drop Watkins for Coutinho. Buendia was everywhere. Buendia was so good.
Buendia played really well. I think Ings, with Coutinho in the side,
and Buendia
will score a lot of goals.
And Jacob Ramsey.
Yeah.
I mean, Morgan Sanson will forget about his performance, and
once McGinn's back from suspension or injury,
Douglas, Ramsey midfield 3, and Coutinho, Ings, Buendia. That is surely Europe.
Douglas Ramsey sounds like a great player.
Douglas Ramsey. I think I said
After you meant Ramsey. In the 3, but it sounded like there's some bloke called Douglas Ramsey.
Douglas Ramsey, dude.
Yeah, I went for him again.
You also got
Douglas Luiz.
He's on Ramsey. Sheldon.
Oh yeah, the BTEC Aaron Ramsey.
The better Aaron Ramsey.
The non-Welsh one.
No.
But yeah.
I think Coutinho was so good. Digne.
I was trying to mention that. The Aston Villa smart business, they sold Grealish, and with that money, or a little bit more, have loaned in Coutinho, but Digne loaned in Tuanzebe. Didn't work. He's gone off to Napoli. But they brought in Buendia, they brought in Bailey, they brought in Ings. I mean, it's just...
That's nothing. You got Leon Bailey to add to that front 3. Oh, stop. We're too good. But yeah, Coutinho, Ings...
It's just really smart and just shrewd business. Because they didn't go out and just, buy a load of... they could have gone and got Dele Alli.
They didn't. Sky did an interview with
Chris Wood,
a pre-match interview with Perslow, the CEO, and he was saying that what they like to do is they look at summer and January as one. So they spent the whole of the first half of the season looking into who to buy, looking at Coutinho, looking at Digne, and that's why it's paid off.
Yeah. Well, I think it's also. I think he is a really good CEO.
He is.
Because when Grealish was sold, it wasn't just like, okay, he's gone now, we're going to make our business behind closed doors. He came out in an interview and said, obviously we like Jack Grealish, but we love him, he's Villa through and through. But 100 mil is impossible to turn down, but we will reinvest that in the squad. Something like that. And
exactly, no one cares about
that level of communication and transparency from the club is just unheard of almost across any other football team. So
very good owners as well.
Let's see, from that Perslow bloke, whatever his name is.
Christian Perslow.
Him. He does. He clearly cares about the club. Wow, that was hard to say. Clearly cares about the club.
Also like the Buendia and that with Gerrard, but was Dean Smith's signings. I think Buendia is getting there now.
I don't think they're really Dean Smith signings.
But
he was at the club during those signings, but it was very much the board and the recruitment team that brought those players in. As shown by the fact Dean Smith did not know what to do with them.
No, I like Dean Smith, but he is the type of manager where when you've got a squad like Conor Hourihane and Neil Taylor and El Mohammadi, he'll get that up to the Prem. But once you're in the Prem, I mean, I really like Dean.
I mean, he worked at Brentford, obviously, where the manager works very closely with the recruitment staff to buy players. So he was involved in the signings of like Watkins and Benrahma, and then their development and growth before their eventual sales.
That's why. He took Watkins and.
He was the thing is he was used to a Brentford system where they are fantastic at spotting gems for cheap prices. They've probably been watching our Hidden Gems series, to be honest. Spotting them at cheap prices and going out and getting them.
Dusan Vlahovic, who's signed to Aston Villa.
Yeah, and Dean Smith was used to having those players that had a lot of passion and that, but also he had a lot of say in who was coming in, and he'd have known well in advance. At Villa, he just didn't seem to know what to do with the fantastic players they brought in. I mean, obviously Bailey struggled a lot with injuries. Ings just he scored a few goals, but he's not really set
Ings and Watkins
the world on fire. That partnership just doesn't really work. No. I think Watkins should be more of a bench striker.
When Dean Smith did the 3-5-2, that was shambolic.
2-on Xavier was a massive failure. He didn't know what was Buendia's best position.
Courtney Horsby scored a great header against Man United away, so yeah.
Yeah, but Buendia obviously was starting all over the place.
Yeah.
Which Chelsea clearly did not. He did not know what to do with it, because if he did, he'd have played Buendia from right on the start, on the right from the start.
I think Coutinho, Ings, Buendia is just going to be, and then then you bring on Bailey and Watkins with a bit of pace, and you just go to.
We change it up for the specific opponents.
Yeah.
If you're playing against a side that likes to.
You're playing against Marcus Alonso.
Likes to have a high line and leaves a lot of space in behind. Then you're going to play Watkins because he is quicker than Ings.
I think on Courtney House.
If they're low block, you want Ings.
When he came on at half time, he did really well.
Yeah. Cons was obviously a massive loss for Villa, but it's good to know that they've got good backups.
Yeah.
In Courtney House, and I think they could do with another centre back.
Yeah, I mean,
there's no one else at the club.
Yeah, there isn't. There's some youngsters, but they wouldn't start them.
There's a few options they can go and get, like even try a loan move from alongside. I don't think Chelsea would accept it, but it's worth a try.
Jacob Ramsey, it was so good last night. And I think Everton, I think it could be a very, very high scoring game. Because Everton may not have a manager.
Nothing's confirmed yet, but I don't think Rafa's going to have a job on Monday morning.
Even if he does, I still think it'll be high scoring.
We could discuss that game briefly. Everton lost to Norwich. That's that.
Bloody hell.
That's all you need to perfectly sum up Rafa Benitez's time.
Norwich are 18th in the Premier League. This is an absolute triumph.
That's the highest they've been all season.
Everyone else around them's got 2 games in hand, but they're 18th. So.
Right now, yeah, that's the highest they've been all season at any point. Even on the opening day.
Apart from the very start of the game.
No. Before there was any games, but as soon as the ball was kicked, they were behind. They lost to Liverpool in the opener, so they were last.
Oh, yeah.
And then the highest they've been is 19th because Arsenal got packed in by City on the opening weekend.
I think Dean Smith may be able to keep them up.
I think it's possible for Norwich to stay up if they keep.
Josh Sargent,
if they can win their games against the likes of Burnley. I mean, Watford on Friday is going to be massive, in my opinion, to tell you who's staying up.
Yeah.
If Norwich win that, I think Norwich can stay up. If Watford win that, I think Watford will stay up.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Burnley have got Watford.
People have got games in hand and stuff, but I think Burnley could struggle. Because
Burnley have got to play Tottenham, haven't they?
They've looked good at times this season, but then they look terrible at others. They've just lost their best striker, in my opinion. Chris Wood to Newcastle in the weirdest transfer ever. I do think they're Newcastle now preparing for the Championship.
Yeah. You've got all this money, you're going with Chris Wood.
Yeah, I think they're predicting Wilson will leave if they go down.
What I like is
I think Callum Wilson will go with Leicester.
Maybe. Yes.
If they do end up losing, because I don't know what Vardy's situation will be come the end of the season, but he is now 35.
I do like how Newcastle fans were expecting Haaland and Mbappe, all these great players, and they got Chris Wood.
To be fair, Trippier's a good little deal.
Yeah, I think that's their plan though. Get the ball to Trippier, he crosses it in, Chris Wood.
The thing is, they're in negotiations at the moment for Mauro Icardi. So it's like, what was the point in Chris Wood then?
And you got Callum Wilson, and
if you've got if you're trying to get Icardi as well, they also apparently they want Keylor Navas as their goalkeeper, which I think would be a huge coup. Because PSG don't need him. No other club needs a goalkeeper, so Keylor's kind of got nowhere to go. If he's going to earn big wages and be the starting keeper for a Premier League side, I think he's going to take it.
Realistically, Newcastle is probably one of the only teams that will pay his wages.
And if Newcastle do end up becoming like a big powerhouse of football, Navas will be right there competing with them for the next 5 years.
Bench by Donnarumma, isn't he, at the moment?
Yeah, he's not playing at all. Well, he's played some games. To be fair, he's played a lot more than I thought he would. But
yeah.
I think he'd rather be starting, and I think PSG would rather start Donnarumma.
Should we get on to the last relegation candidate that we haven't talked about yet? Manchester United. They are awful.
I don't think they're awful.
I mean, no, they're not awful.
Bruno's back. That was a really good game for him.
The
second goal was really nice.
Bruno, when Ronaldo's not there, Bruno's quite
becomes
good.
much a better player.
Cavani just stood around
because he has license to roam, whereas when he's with Ronaldo, he's always trying to force that ball to Cristiano.
Get to Ronaldo.
And obviously, I'm not saying United would be better without Ronaldo, but I don't know. To be fair, without Ronaldo's goals, United would now be 14th, and out of the Champions League, and not even down into the Europa League, they'd be 4th. But then I kind of disagree with that, because I think if they didn't have Ronaldo in those games and they had another striker, I think not only would he have scored the same goals, but in the games they didn't pick up points, he could have got could done better. So I disagree that with Ronaldo there, mental. I think that's almost United fans trying to justify Ronaldo's lack of effort, but it's very much a Lukaku situation. Lukaku's just not got as much ability, so he doesn't just kick a ball right into.
I think United are alright going forward.
Smash one in.
I
from
think
40 yards.
defensively they are terrible. Varane was. What didn't play well last
I don't think it's the individuals. I think it's the system. But then you do have players like Fred and McTominay, who with them in the midfield, you might as well not have a midfield.
I think
Wan-Bissaka's a poor right back. Luke Shaw had a good Euros, but struggles domestically.
I think leadership, in terms of leadership and teamwork, you've got Ronaldo and Bruno moaning about the players' mentality. The captain's armband's been given to about 6 different people this season. Harry Maguire isn't a leader, he's a traffic cone. with a big head.
He's a fridge. That's
He's just a massive fridge. He just stands there. Like, I think Bruno had the captaincy last week. Ronaldo had it in the FA Cup against Villa. Was a joke.
They really cannot decide what's going on there.
Yeah, they just need to find, some people need to step up, be leaders. You expect Ronaldo to do that, but he's too busy moaning about people not having the right mentality.
Which, to be fair, a lot of that United squad doesn't. I don't think. I mean, I saw an image of them coming out, of the United players coming out the tunnel for the game that Phil Jones played, and you've got all the other United players don't look arsed, looking down at the ground, look almost nervous and stuff. Whereas Phil Jones, I think he's still nervous, but he looks passionate and he looks. He's ambitious.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the right word, but he cares. He wants to play for Manchester United, and as much I do think that Phil Jones is incredibly underrated.
I do. Yeah.
I think he's a good player. He's just kind of not played for United at all, and he's pulled some funny faces, so he's become kind of a meme player. I think it's a bit unfair on him.
I in terms of the fans as well, like when Phil Jones was coming. I mean, Phil Jones, when he was walking off the pitch, the fans were singing and chanting his name, clapping him off. He was clapping to them. Like, when it's Rashford, they boo him off. He storms down the tunnel. He's not, he's not looking at the fans, clapping them off or anything. Rashford just...
If you have, I think I think even his name doesn't help him. Phil Jones. If his name was Filippo Jonesy, or Jonesy, I think there'd be like bloody Claudio Baresi. Not Claudio. What's his name? Can't remember. Baresi. But yeah, top quality centre half. But no, instead it's Phil Jones. But yeah, how do you fix him? CDMs, right back, left back. Few players with fight. Few players with desire.
I don't know what. Tellez.
He's good going forward. Okay, defensively, better than Luke Shaw in my opinion.
No.
Rashford looks disinterested. They don't want to start Sancho. Greenwood's a good raw talent, but he's not getting enough minutes to develop properly in that side.
I mean,
Ronaldo doesn't care.
Ronaldo looked all right last night.
You know what? I really enjoy watching him play. It's his direct running at players, his dribbling. He's always looking to beat a man, which is something you don't. A lot of the United players just don't look interested. They're trying to pass it through to Ronaldo to score.
They've gone from Paul Scholes to Fred.
I think they're definitely missing Paul Pogba at the moment. As much as Graham Souness would disagree. And I think if you put Paul Pogba plus a Declan Rice or a Calvin Phillips or Aurelien Tchouameni or literally any CDM who is not named Fred...
Or McTominay. Or McFred or McMuffin.
Or Scott. Don't get Scott Brown.
Scott Parker, though.
to be fair. Probably do a better job. But yeah, United needs some big improvements. Yeah. I think even Rashford just doesn't seem to care. I mean, he doesn't... He's not performing very well. He's shooting a lot from range. Almost desperate just to try and get a goal. It's baffling. But then he does some really nice charity work and we all forget about his poor performances. Yeah. So.
And then it goes back to being rubbish on the pitch and then everyone throws a hissy fit.
But yeah. I think that's... Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to clap Spotify. Yeah. Just keep clapping at them.
But I think, man, you can't fix them. They're rubbish.
I think it needs a lot more than just a quick fix, Manchester United. They almost need to go... They need to go a couple steps down to make those steps forward. Yeah. But the United board aren't willing to invest that time into a full squad rebuild. They're just going to keep signing good players on paper and then they'll just underperform in a poor system in a shit squad because everyone's just... There's no gel, there's nothing to link with the players, there's no chemistry. It is just a bunch of players.
It's 11 blokes.
There's no heart, there's no desire, there's no the mentality there is incredibly poor. And I think it does need a whole squad rebuild. But United will not invest that time to do that. Right, should we go on to FPL? I think that's everything for today's big discussions.
Obviously, we're only halfway through this game week because...
Oh, Also, just got a notification, Anthony, who's the feature of our Hidden Gems last week, has just scored for Ajax 5 minutes into their game with Utrecht.
Already.
Yeah, that won't be linked in there, but you can go find it on the channel. I'm going to get my team up. I mean, the question we have on our board is Coutinho a good gamble? I think it's an interesting one. He costs just 7 mil, which in my opinion... Oh, you're looking at your team for this week at the moment.
I mean, still got loads of players to play again because I went for them all the players with double game week.
Yeah,
I mean, I've got 2 Tottenham players that are only now playing once. But I've got Jose Sarr on 7 on my bench because he made 8 saves, I believe. He made 9 saves and got 2 bonus points.
I'm getting him. I'm getting him on a wild card for this. Looking forward to... I mean, the week just gone, it's kind of hard to discuss on FPL because, one, it's Sunday, so we've only seen the Friday and Saturday games, and it's double game week, so there's loads of games to go, but unfortunately, we had to record today because it's this dickhead's birthday on Monday.
Yeah.
So yeah, we couldn't record then, and then, Tuesday as well. Bit difficult, and this needs to go on Wednesday, so...
Is Coutinho...
Can't really discuss the last week, but yeah, Coutinho...
Yes.
I mean, I'm on 33 at the moment, so I'm killing it.
I'm on 18.
And I've got a lot of players still to play.
I've still got quite a few.
I had Bruno 14, so hopefully he continues that form into Brentford's, for my fantasy team at least. I've taken a wild card for next week.
See, I haven't got a free hit or a wild card left.
Have you not? I've still got both of them left.
How?
I've only used 1 free hit, and I only used 1 wild card first half of the season, so I've just used this wild card.
I've used 2.
And now I've still got a free hit to use later in the season. So for a double game week, I'm going to do that at some point.
I was a bit stupid. This week, because I still had a double game week, I took Chelsea players. But I went for Havertz, who didn't play a single minute, Mount, who didn't start, so he got me 1, and Lukaku, who got me 2, because he's shit.
See, I went Ronaldo, though. He didn't even start.
I wasn't expecting Cathcart to concede at Newcastle. I was expecting...
Yeah, I thought Watford would win that. I had Dennis Captain. He didn't do anything.
I thought Anthony Gordon would tear Norwich apart. No,
difference is, while you had Kane, I had Bruno for the same money. Well, Kane's more expensive.
Kane might go score against Leicester. I doubt that very much.
I was going to say, yeah, he's now only on a single game.
Why did I get him in?
So that's the thing. I'm on 33 points, but everyone in my team's still got a game. So it's like an added 33 points to the 3 hit, which I
Southampton, Tottenham.
Smart for me.
It's scored at Southampton, Palace, and Liverpool.
But yeah, looking ahead to next week, I've got a very different side. So I've got Jose Sarr, then Trent, Tierney, Cancelo is my back 3. They've all got games against Palace, Burnley, Southampton. Sarr's against Brentford, by the way. Then Jota against Palace, Bernardo Silva against Southampton, Coutinho against Everton. Thought take a bargain, why not? Martinelli against Burnley, Dennis against Norwich, Ings against Everton, who's currently my vice-captain, but I might change that all up. And then Jimenez against Brentford, he's currently captain, but I think I'm going to captain Emmanuel Dennis.
I'm going to captain.
I mean, I'm definitely going to wait until we see the outcome of the current game week.
Yeah.
Because if Dennis struggles to score against...
I mean, I'm not going to do my transfer yet, because they still could be injured.
Who they got in midweek?
But I
Burnley.
think I'm looking at swapping out Havertz for... or Gordon. Gordon for Coutinho.
Yeah. Oh, well, I've
got loads of blood.
Then on my bench, I have De Gea, Digne, Cody and Mount. So, quite a strong bench.
What a wild... Can I not use them again? Please.
You get a second one in the second half of the season?
Yeah, I've used them both.
How?
Because I did a...
How often do you change your team?
No, so this week I used a wild card because of AFCON and...
Fair.
Injuries.
That's the thing,
COVID.
I went free hit instead of a wild card.
My team was very COVID hit, so I used a free hit. I probably should have used them the other way around.
The other way around would have been better, yeah. Well, yeah, my team had players like Salah and that out, so I didn't... So that's why I had to use that wild card. And then in terms of when when Salah comes back from AFCON, I'm just going to sub him in and get rid of Jota.
I've annihilated the cup.
So I'll be fine.
Oh, you fit. Oh, that's game 20.
I'm going to check out my cups. Let's see what's going on. And we'll have a look at the Football Chat League.
Yeah.
England Cup, I'm currently winning 33-8.
I got knocked out in game week 18.
Oh, I got a buy. Yeah, I got a buy in 17, one in 18, one in 19, one in 20, one in 21. So now I need.
Oh, you're smashing it then.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
wow.
into.
I mean, I'm in the
I'm into the round of 131,072 people.
Nice. Might win it.
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Good publicity. Chelsea Cup, I lost in game week 19, and overall cup, I was out in game week 17.
Overall cup, I failed to qualify for.
Oof.
I don't know how I did that. I don't know what is it like in the world. Top people in the world.
Yeah, overall, everyone.
Oh dear. Never mind.
TFC League, where are you now?
Oh, I am 548th.
I'm up to 374th.
Oh no! I've just seen the league.
What?
Mohamed Bamji's in 8th.
This is terrible news, people.
Do I go through the league?
Sure. In first, of course, we have FPL Peru, Danny Geller, still holding on to that first.
3 points.
But yeah, Zach Drayton's closed the gap up with a big game week this week. Scored a whole 11 points more than Danny Geller. Yeah, 3 points in it. That could, we could see a change for the lead. At Mutant Ninja
I don't know where
Skirtle.
he's gone, bro. I've never seen that name before.
No, I think everyone. I think now it is very much a 2-horse race for the title. So Danny Geller and Zach Drayton.
I mean,
they're a good 30. They're 30 points ahead of Mutant Ninja Skirtles, who's come out of nowhere. He's not even sent him in like the top 10.
There's 40 points between Mutant Ninja Skirtles in 3rd and Mohamed Bamji.
That's a quality name. He's had a good week because he captained Bruno and had Cancelo. What a week for him. Yeah. I mean, he's even got Salah in his side, just sat on his bench, and Livramento and Ben White, who none of them had games.
Oh.
Because either injured or out AFCON or COVID.
Wild card.
He might be, yeah. The Mutant Ninja Skirtles could pose a threat. He's now up to 3rd out of pretty much nowhere. Osborne O'Main, he is now... He's maintained his 4th, and Parton Parrots with a very poor game week, dropped from 3rd to 5th.
Has he still got... I've even got more points than him. Oh dear.
He's got a lot of people out. Tommy Asu, Reece James, Smith Rowe and Salah captained, all not playing. So it's almost... I think Parton Parrots may have given up.
Yeah.
He was on top at the start, but I think he's kind of forgotten to do his FPL for a few weeks.
I think most people have, because, I mean, this 11 Y's... the Tuchel.
Yeah, Lamide's Angels as well have dropped to 11. Well, it's up, and it says up at the moment, but everyone around them on like 9 and 18 and stuff. So everyone's struggling this week.
Variant, he's fallen to 34.
And our boy Mohamed Bamji down in 8th now.
Come on, mate, you can do this.
I mean, it's been another poor week. He's now 13 points off 7. I don't think we're going to see.
Should we do the random team thing again?
What, you just go scroll through and click a random one? I'm going to see if I can find Connor while you do that.
Okay, you try. I'm not going to go with that one, actually.
Oh, okay. Is it some bad name, is it? Who have you found?
Winds of Winter.
Shout out Winds of Winter.
They're on 25 points.
What's their name?
Oh, God. Shashank Jagani. Apologise if you're watching. I've just completely butchered that name.
Yeah.
They haven't had many people play. They've only had 4 players play this. No, 1, 2, 3, 4. They only have 6 players play this.
I can't remember where Connor was last week to try and find him this week.
Calcheo, Bernardo, Lukaku, Jimenez. You got an assist.
Well, our boy GM19 has dropped only 11 points this week.
Also, I'm
down to 359.
I haven't seen.
Let's check out GM19's team. Oh, he's got Salah, Reece James and Mendy all out. He's got Christensen and Luzu not playing.
Who was top for ages?
Diaz on 0 as well. It's a poor week for the big Minecraft streamer.
James... Was it James Elms?
Yes, that does ring a bell.
He's nowhere near... He's not even in the top 100, I don't think.
Is he not? Wow.
So he's fallen massively. Pfizer.
I'm trying to see if I can find anyone I recognise. But yeah.
That could
lot of movement at the top.
Completely changed by the end of the game week on Wednesday.
Yeah, there's still a lot of games to be played.
Yeah,
sorry, I'm just trying to find you. It's impossible.
538th.
Oh dear. Oh, Leon Ralph. I think I know who that is. There you are. 548th up to the Lincoln.
Yeah.
Disgraceful. deserving, I think, because of your name alone. I've gone up in every league I'm in, so I'm killing it. But yeah, that just about wraps up FPL. Yeah. I don't know how long this pod's been, but it feels like a decent length one.
It was alright.
I think we hit an hour, but I don't know. It might be just short of one.
I think we have. Well, you'll find out. It might be a little bit shorter when it's edited down. Hope you enjoy it.
But yeah, fun. If you're listening on Spotify, head over to the YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, make sure to head over to the Spotify. Everyone, head over to the YouTube. Make sure to leave a like, comment on Spotify. Make sure to download, click add to episodes.
Follow
check all the other socials as well. Yeah, and we should have an announcement if we're doing the Chelsea-Tottenham game at some point that we're doing it.
So that's why you should follow our Instagram and our Twitter.
Yeah.
And subscribe to the YouTube. And follow we might do an advert on Spotify. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just follow them all.
Make sure to follow, subscribe to everything, so any information you won't miss it. But yeah, thank you for watching. Make sure if you haven't already, subscribe. We're going for that 1K. At the time of recording, we're on 328.
We are scheduled to hit it this year.
According to Social Blade, we'll hit it. So but at the moment it says 3rd of December. So we need to beat that
in October.
It would be nice to do it before my birthday, October the 29th. Whether that's possible or not, guess we'll see. And it would also be nice to do it for the World Cup. But yeah, subscribe. Make sure to subscribe. And yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
See ya.